I'll tell you what I found really interesting about the broadcast. They showed one war room. It was the Phillies. They didn't show anybody else's war room. They showed the Phillies war room. And it seemed like as soon as Gage Wood was selected, everybody on that panel had some inside knowledge that the Phillies are really excited by this because here comes a guy that can pitch for them in October.
Yeah.
Like it was almost as if this was a known thing that nobody's talked about, right?
Yeah.
And I'll admit I was a little surprised by it. But when you put the puzzle pieces together and you go back to what Dave Dombrowski said, what he said that, you know, sometimes you have to have your improvements come from within. You're not thinking about a player that you haven't drafted yet. You're thinking the players that are already in existence. But in a sense, could he have been referencing the fact that, hey, we may draft a guy who's we think can get ready by October because he was really good in college?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is that something that he was kind of setting you up for a little bit?
Yeah.
And I think that that's an interesting thing. And everybody that kind of knew it, and we were sitting there like, oh, okay, all right. So it's an intriguing.
Yeah, I mean, they seem fire up about it. The fastball whiff rate is best fastball in the country. We know the deal is there's been some injury issues. He hasn't thrown a lot with a ton of success, high college ERA. Like the talking points are the talking points. There's obviously something there. If they are able to get him in and he's able to locate and the fastball plays and they're able to feel good enough about a secondary pitch, could they get him up here and maybe make it work in some capacity, much the way they did with a guy like Kirkering, who obviously spent more time in the minors than would in this situation. But could they fast track him and maybe have him up here by later in the year? I guess it's possible. It's not unprecedented.